So,
welcome to Off the Stage Podcast.
There we go. Welcome to Off the Stage Podcast.
We've done like 5 episodes of that now, so I can't get used to not hearing the theme tune.
I know.
I presume you three kind of looked how I looked at like what's going on, and it's like.
Yeah.
Welcome to Off the Stage Podcast with me, Conor Michael. This is James Berry, and this week we have Yersin. So hi guys. Hi. You don't have to applaud yourself. Honestly, I wasn't confident James was going to find the applause button in time.
You were absolutely right about that. So
we really get applause.
Yeah, I know. We should have booed really to start.
Is that pronounced right? Is it Yersin?
Yes.
Yeah. So who are you individually, and what do you do in the band?
I'm Chris. I play drums.
I'm also Chris, and I'm vocals.
And Chris?
I'm Rob and play guitars.
We've had that before. We've had like a couple of Dans on us, haven't we?
Yeah, there we have. Oh. Well, my band's got 2 Jameses.
And a Vince.
No, this is the other band. That's not the cover band.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 Jameses.
Yeah, cool.
So
Good
yeah.
story.
I know.
So what are you guys drinking? Let's go on with the important stuff first.
I've got a couple of bottles of my favourite drink, the Duchess. Ooh. Tastes a bit like, it was described as horse glue, but all the best parts of it, so it's lovely.
I've got a pint of Erdinger, which wasn't described as horse glue.
But it's still got all the best
It's still got all the best features of it, yeah.
I've got a German Pilsner, tried and tested. Can't go wrong. No idea what it is, that's all I know.
I can't remember what this is called. Ragamuffin Sour, which is a passion fruit mango.
Oh, very nice.
It's very sour.
I've got some. Well, I asked you for a shit cider, which a shit cider is like usually like the on the tap, like Strongbow or something like that. This is not shit cider. This is like proper Somerset.
This is on a tap.
Cloudy gear.
Cloudy, probably like 10.7% or something like that.
Yeah.
Just
Absolute headache machine.
Yeah,
technically
absolutely.
you asked for both shit cider and just a proper apple proper cider. So I went downstairs and went, "You want a proper apple proper cider?" And he went, "Oh, I know what to get him."
Oh, right, okay.
Here's the vintage.
Yeah. Well, it's lovely anyway. So
sure, it's like 6.7%. It's not too bad.
Oh, right, okay.
You'll
Well.
be alright. Just catch driving home tonight.
Yeah.
So, with yourselves as a band, what kind of influences did you have that got you into music, and then how did you form and know each other to join the band?
Well, how we formed into the band is because my dad had a 65th birthday party and we were the tribute band that played.
Alright.
So we were doing like loads of like terrible covers
Judas
of like
Priest,
and was it Fleetwood Mac or who Born to Be
Steppenwolf.
Wild, Steppenwolf.
Oh, yes.
So it's just like totally not what we do now, but it was so fun to do it. We just thought
We'd been practicing for a good
a few
6 months.
yeah.
dreadful.
Born to Be Wild and Paranoid by Black Sabbath, that was one of them. And we just thought like, yeah, well, we've had fun playing that, so why not just try and do something that we enjoy? So yeah, that's basically the start of it.
It was good to move away from covers and to actually write some music and start like doing what we kind of were into together, like mutual.
We've all played in bands before as well. Like I played in a band with Rob when I was like 19 for a few years.
Yeah, and so just all kind of, well, Mal, we hadn't talked for 8 years or something like that, and I just messaged you, says, "Do you want to play in a covers band?"
It was about 2008 when I first met you, and I didn't even know Story then. We jammed. We pretty much got a band together, and then I went off to uni. It just didn't work doing it remotely and like long distance. That's the way to put it. Then just a few years later, it was just like, oh, he's a drummer, he's a singer, he's a bass player, and we're just. Obviously, Rob brought us all together for the party.
For the party.
And that's how it
At
started.
the Rosedene.
The
Heavy metal haven that is the Rosedene.
We did Napalm Death cover that night.
Oh yeah, that went down an absolute lead balloon, that one, I'll tell you that.
Was that with the sound guy who was blind?
No, what?
The sound guy was blind. He had one of the sticks with a thing on the end, the ball. He was walking far too close to the stairs for my liking.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's news to me.
He's
He's like perfectly attuned. He's the Marvel sound guy out there.
It's taking a while to understand which mixer.
It would, yeah. But he would know quickly it was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong dial.
He recovered well.
So how did you guys know? Did you all go to school together, or were you just grown up around?
No, it was the Epic nightclub Q Club.
Oh yes, I remember it well.
We are of a certain age where that was the mecca of sweaty bastards that were. You know, sorry.
It was kind of like friends and friends.
Sorry, but yeah, it was just on a Thursday night.
Thursday night, aye. I used to leave at like midnight because that's what was like before the police used to raid it.
The witching hour. No, but you just felt a magnetic draw to Q Club on a Thursday night. What's the set? I'm going to get sweaty. I'm going to wear girls' jeans.
I never wore girls' jeans.
And I'm going to buy V2 Squared, the off-brand alcohol pop, and it was like 79 pence a go. And you'd come home and just never have a hangover. Sadly, we've been 18 years old, but yeah, so we all met effectively through.
I was more of a pizzazz chap, being a bit older, but I think because I knocked around with Jack's sister. Jack was our bass player. Sadly, left us a few years ago.
Thankfully, he left.
He's not dead. He's
He's not dead. He passed away.
just the way he's
I was going to say that this podcast is taking a dark turn here. Just like,
but yeah, just friends of friends and things like that, as well as Sunderland hotspots.
Yeah. So obviously you touched on that you had a bass player beforehand. Is it now just a trio? How big was the band?
4.
Well, yeah, it was 4 people, but
only 3 present.
Only 3 present. If you know what I mean, God bless them. We loved them. But anyway,
no real hard feelings from our side per se.
Yeah, it was.
He just kind of.
But when
he left and then wanted to come back and
then we had a lineup change and we started taking it seriously after this.
Yeah.
So. And then
we've made adjustments where we didn't really want to mess around 3 months later when he wanted to come back. It was just taking one step forward, 2 back. So.
And he never wanted to do the whole photos, videos, which you kind of got to do. It's not the most cool thing to do.
The majority of the work nowadays is just like emailing people, organising like graphic design, T-shirts. It's just like it's the biggest drag.
Developing a bit of a presence because if people know about you, it comes with it. Like you're going to get boots, you're going to get shows, you meet people. It's just networking, really. But, if you look good, if you sound good, it all helps.
Like we get people at our shows like saying, "Oh, I've been looking forward to see you for ages," and it's like you were looking forward to seeing us.
They have like a perception of us that it's just like, it's like they don't know how much just useless fuckers that we are really in real life, if you know what I mean.
That's fake it till you make it, isn't it?
Exactly. It's got to pretend that you are the real deal, but in reality you're just absolute chances, really. That's all we do.
We're still developing though. Every year we'll make strides, and something happens to keep us going.
Have you found your sounds like changed as being a 3-piece?
Yes.
Or 4-piece?
Yeah.
When we first started, we kind of just said, right, we're that done in with Black Sabbath and like rock covers that we just said, right, grindcore.
Yeah.
And we started off trying to like go down the grindcore route a bit just for a laugh more than anything, just to go crazy. But I think we've more tuned it towards a bit of black metal, a bit of hardcore.
Well, loads of it has to be through necessity because of obviously just the limitations of just having like one guitar as the music, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's just it's fun to work around it, like understanding that you can't do everything that you would be able to do in a 4 or 5-piece band, so you just have to kind of tailor the songs towards something coherent that actually can pull off live as well. So that's the main thing that's changed, just out of a sheer technical standard, if you know what I mean. You have to rely on root notes and kind of trying to develop.
You need to keep this. I'm trying to think of the word. You need to carry the sound, and you have to fill certain spaces that 2 guitars usually would. Yeah, it's a toughie like that.
Do you enjoy the trio more than the 4-piece?
Yeah,
definitely. With Jack, our old bass player, it was like Robert come with a riff, and straight away Jack was like, "Oh, that's shit." And it's like, "Oh well, that's not really constructive, is it?" It's like, but it's a bit like you come in, you just deflated. But we kind of work more, try that.
Great. We played Edinburgh this last weekend, and we had an absolute great time, just the 3 of us. And it was just,
it's just easy.
Yeah, it's just good. Just
we all
treating it like fun, if you know what I mean.
I prefer being in a 3-piece, because you just, I don't know, because you have to do like the bar chords and stuff, and I almost feel like, I mean, for me anyway, there's not as much pressure to be as technical, so you can be a bit more just like jumping up and down, just enjoying the music itself. That's my.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like some of the bands that we were playing with was incredibly technical and just sounded great, but it's not for us really. You know what I mean, just drop D tune, well, drop tune, and then just play as loud as you possibly can.
It's kind of the grindcore start is kind of, I don't know, we've still got the intensity, and that does fill the space, like you say. I mean, if we're not doing anything special, at least we're going hard and fast, which is what we all like anyway. So.
It's easy to arrange practices as well, much easier.
Yeah.
God knows how Slipknot and people did it back in the day.
Yeah, 9 people. God, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a band with, I think there's 7 of us now.
No way.
That's like that's a tough one. Like, but
it's like a meeting of the UN to try and get a few.
It is. It's
like a 3-piece as well. You can't really fall out.
Well, we do fall out, but
we do. Yeah, but if 2 of you, 4 of you, it's like that's 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So obviously, you guys write your own stuff as well. What would you say the most personal song is that you've written, and what's it about? Like most personal to yourself, whether you've all got the same one or 3 individual ones.
I hate to say, but it's not. I don't really write from a personal space, if you know what I mean. It's like, more of a.
We used to come up with like song names just from stupid patter that was going on in the practice room. Like early tracks include "Buggered in the Greenhouse," which is a reference from the film Scum.
There was a garlic bread fiasco.
Just stupid shit. So, I mean, we're trying to. I don't know if mature is the right word, but we're trying to be a bit more serious.
We're moving away from. Well, it's all that's gone. But I don't know. Personally, I find there's always a bit of a gap between like me and the music. If you know what I mean, it's just more of just like. I enjoy the sound of heavy metal. It doesn't really feel personal to us. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So. Answer is no. I don't have
like when we write, we have discussed like bringing a bit more context to what we're writing. When again we're just slowly moving towards it and maturing in that way. But
like with me being the vocal side of the lyrics, but I kind of say to the guys, what do you want this song to be about? Because like for me, it will just turn into daft crack.
Yeah.
It won't be serious.
That's fair. Well, if I was to turn the question a little bit. Would you say that there's any song that you've got that you thought a crowd member has taken a bit like, oh, they've related really well, or like there's a song that really channels well with the crowd?
Well,
I know it's a different experience. Someone has to be off.
Well, like one of the first singles off the new record, Triumphant, that we came out with. The reason like it came up with the title Triumphant is just like we had like this. One riff halfway through the song, I was just like, "Oh, joke!" It's like, "Well, it sounds like you're triumphant on your steed with a horse."
It reminded us of battle metal, like something
like just cheesy man of war, like oiled chests on a horse.
Righteousness about it, you know.
But like some people have messages saying like, "Oh, it's like that sounds like." I'm like going through X, Y, and Z and stuff like that, and it's like, "Oh, this just feels really."
It's like quite an uplifting riff, like
but it's just like. That's obviously the gap between like how it was created and how it's perceived, if you know what I mean. So it's cool. Any positive compliment that you receive is like also like humbling, but also like you don't honestly believe it, if you know what I mean. But some people have just really liked some. I mean, obviously not a huge amount of people, but you know what I mean. Sadly,
to be honest, that is my favourite tune on the album. I think we got our mate Bernie, who's a singer-songwriter now. And she did like a bit of like guest vocal on it, just like some like
operatic.
Yeah, it's just like
has Bernie been on this podcast before? Or?
No, she hasn't.
She might have been.
But I mean, it's the icing on the cake with that tune. Like it's like obviously the riffs, like Rob says, the hook of it, if you will. But then just with that on top, just really set it off like so. But yeah, I think that's probably a good one to pick. Like it.
It's got the piano starts again. That's something that we've never done before, and like we've got like a fire intro. Like fire's in the sound of fire.
like you're talking like kind of like teenage slang there. Like that was.
But like once it was mixed and mastered, somebody would pooled our resources to get it mixed by like the best dude in the UK. Shout out Joe Clayton. And then awesome like engineer, and then someone went. Is that fire or is that a full English frying in the pan at the start? And I was like, oh no. It sounds like a fry up at the beginning. I was like, oh no.
Just flipping eggs.
Yeah,
to be fair, there's not wrong with that.
Good way to start.
Yeah. Makes you hungry for more.
Mint, we'll call that a quick break for part 1. We'll come back to part 2 with a few questions.
Okay. Cool.
And yeah, we'll see you after the break.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Busted, and you've been listening to Off the Stage.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think that was it.
I
heard that
yeah.
on comment. Welcome back to Off the Stage podcast with me, Conor Michael. This is James Berry, and we have Yersin still with us. They didn't run away. That's always good. So part 2 is normally a bit Q&A kind of thing. The first question we've got is, what's your favourite gig story?
I think we played the Telegraph in Newcastle a few years ago, and there was a massive power cut in Newcastle. So we got all the gear on stage, power was cut. So the gig got cancelled.
This is a horrendous gig story.
We took like all the gear.
I'd say the best gig story. It's a favourite.
We took all the gear back down to the van, and then all the power in the street came back on. Lads, back out, and I was like carrying the 4x12s at this fire escape. Decent gig as well.
Oh, it was alright. Yeah. Like gig that we've played, or in general.
Just one that you've been at, whether you're on stage or in the crowd.
Well, there's a gentleman from Newcastle that's very famous and banned from certain venues for taking all his clothes off while the band's playing. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I don't think I have.
The Beast.
It's called the Beast.
That makes sense.
He's very notorious because he has like a big leather duster coat with a big Sex Pistols mural on the back. And I've heard about him. It was like almost like Tolkien legend. The Beast is out there, and he will return, if you know what I mean. And we were at the show in Trillions, just watching the show and enjoying it. Then I saw this Sex Pistol mural jacket, and I thought, oh, we're in for it here.
We were wondering, is that him? Is that not? Because I'd seen him years and years ago.
Rumours had spread. Is this the Beast? And yeah,
it was in full form.
And it was
It's like he's in with the Geordie punk scene, like he's into. He's like, he's punk.
Yeah.
So I mean, what was it? Boycott the Baptist were playing. They were a band way enough from Carlisle, like they're a hardcore, grindy, punky outfit. Yeah, and he was loving it, so he went full fat.
Just down, even taking his socks off at that level.
Because I saw the Beast a few years ago, and there was a band called Anti-Bastard who were playing on our text. They saying, "Oh, there's a guy take his kit off."
It's the Beast.
Like Mal texted saying, "Oh, is it the Beast?" And I was like, well, obviously other people know about this crap.
Do you think he knows he's called the Beast?
I don't know.
Yes, I think he does, because we put on a show at the Little Buildings in Newcastle, and like my eyes just like not lit up. What's the reverse of lit up? Because I was with my heart sunk, and I was as shriveled as can be when I saw him walk through the front door, and I was like,
"You've got to keep
going to have to talk to him." I was like, please.
Hadn't someone said like if he's coming like no.
Yeah, and I was just like, it's got to stay on tonight, mate. And I like every time he went past to the bar, I was just like, remember, keep it on. So yeah, I mean,
we have to tell people to keep the clothes on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
it's how politely he takes it off, though. He doesn't just rip it. He like
folds it all.
T-shirt off, folds it.
Checks his change. He's got an inordinate as a streaker. He's got an inordinate amount of change he keeps in his pockets as well. If you know what I mean, it's just like
he tips.
Good
performance. That was a good.
Unless the change like wears his pants.
Like the change, and then he has like lace up like. He would just take his time unlacing his shoes. If like
socks.
Just get
to full
get
show.
It all out, man.
Puts them in a ball.
That's it. Yeah. So I mean, I've seen a grown naked 60-year-old man at the show. It's got to be a memorable high/low light of my gigging career. So
yeah, I think like that is just part of like kind of who you meet, all the crazy people. Like every gig you go to, sometimes like I don't know if it's like a long journey and you get there and you can't really be asked, but then you get there and you like every time, like the social side of it's one of my favourite things about it.
Yeah,
just the randoms you talk to and you get the hospitality when you go somewhere.
Yeah, that's
the Beast is one of them, I suppose. Like, just all kinds of crazy characters.
All the shriveled parts that you see jungling around the place.
I think
I quite like the review I got personally, like when we went to Stevenage.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of a write up after we played with Caligram and Grandad, another favourite onion based metal. And the write up after, like I think I'll be honest, that morning I woke up and I could not be asked to drive it. We just played a Bloodstock the week before, so we're going all the way back down there, and I just it turned out to be a mint gig, and I was in jogging bottoms, like a hoodie, Nike trainers, just couldn't give a shit. And the write-up was like, the drummer looked like he'd just been released on bail for GBH or something stupid like that. Like, so I obviously looked like a ruffian, but yeah, and that was quite amusing.
I think it's like when we get offered good gigs, it's like, you know, when a few years ago we opened for Soulfly.
Oh yeah.
And like,
yeah, that was like
one of the biggest metal bands of early 2000s. And it's
Yeah.
like, we've
Yeah, that
been
was a
asked
highlight, like.
to do this. Like,
That's
Just
pretty
like
cool.
milestones you hit, like you just think, well, that's the kind of, at the time that was like the, and maybe it's even until now it's like the peak. I mean, we've got some stuff for next year that we're pretty proud of, and
yeah, there's some
it's
stuff
like
in the pipeline.
it's kind of steps. Obviously, we can't talk too much about it under instruction, but nearly did there, didn't
instruction.
But yeah, I think that's another. Every year we hit something that kind of is our kind of.
Yeah.
I think last year when we played with Raging Speedhorn, and you were like, "Oh, it's the first band
I ever saw Regions.
It's like,
And I could tell you some stories what we saw that night, but it may not be suitable for transmission. So
no, fish and chips and other
well,
things.
the rest.
So I would need like a off the stage after dark.
Yeah, Patreon.
Yeah, like
Or just spill the beans for what
The
we actually
beast's
saw.
PG, but that's like a bit like X-rated.
We do it, we're just like muffle everyone's voice so no one can get in trouble for naming names.
that's a good
So
point.
just
yeah.
somebody
It's
said
like
this.
when you got the shadowed face of the
Yeah.
informant, and
But
it's
it's
like
like
to
it-
octave
it-
down.
yeah. I was walking
Believe
down.
it or
And after dark one, you could have like the beast actually here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We got
Like,
well, the introduction will be just him walking in, just like bollock naked, just kind of like, "Here's the beast."
Welcome down.
He have his own theme music and everything.
I wonder what his theme music would be.
That's a good point.
I can picture him bullseye for some reason.
Bullseye.
I'm thinking like Billy Gunn, ass man.
Yeah. I'm an ass man. Dun, dun. But obviously he comes in at the I like to kick.
That's so bizarre.
Just like arse past the screen.
Moon walks in. We got a few Instagram questions. So this morning we put out a post on the story and we got a few responses. I just want to see if you know any of these, because some of the questions are questionable.
I've seen one. I definitely know him.
Mastiff _ R
Jim.
Muppets.
Jim Hodge.
Jim
Yes.
Hodge.
Right,
Jim
okay.
Hodge of the Mastiff.
Why Rob gives me pre-cum. Is this a story or
I don't know, Jim.
or a
But
You do know, Jim.
we have no. I do. I don't know why I give him pre-cum, but
I do.
anyway, I just want to say sorry, Jim, for disgracing myself in your front room that time. I do apologise. Top and bottom of it is that
'cause he
Mastiff,
saw you sleeping softly.
he's the singer of this band from Hull, and they are without doubt the heaviest band in the UK going. They are amazing, signed by a big label, and for some reason they've decided to shoot a what's that song? Phoenix Nights themed video, and I was asked to come down as the bouncer. So I go down, I got my bouncer's outfit on, I'm 5'7", looking as threatening as a gnome stood on the door. And it was just like the best day. They had like bingo calling and stuff, but sadly the record label was paying for the tab at the social club, and it started like 10 in the morning. So it was just plastic.
Yeah, that's
and I was just like, oh. And yeah, so anyway, Jim, I appreciate you, my man. Thank you for looking after us.
we've got at the _ Brett _ H.
Okay.
Oh, Brett,
Hi,
aye.
Brett.
Yeah. The horse's cock is too small. Why?
So,
Well, it's all about proportion. Sadly, you know what I mean?
yeah. So that's in relation to the new album cover, which is like is it a knight on a horse?
Well, it's meant to be one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, because well, here's the thing. I said, like, the album's kind of loosely, well, the album was written and I was watching a whole lot of The Seventh Seal. Have you seen that film from the 50s?
No.
It's like a Swedish film. Have you seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or
Yes.
whatever? I don't know where that bald dude with the
Bogus Journey. The second one.
oh, okay. Right. Well, have you seen the second Bill and Ted film?
Oh, I haven't. I've seen all the Harry Potters.
Oh, right.
I think I have seen. It's been a while since I've seen.
Everyone's seen the meme of like the bald dude playing chess, and he's got like the goth robes on and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like Grim Reaper?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so back on topic, it's just that like the album's kind of loosely based, in my mind at least, on the film The Seventh Seal. It's also available on YouTube, like, without copyright, so if you want to go watch it, it's okay. But yeah, but anyway, top and bottom, so it's meant to be the pale horse of the apocalypse, and the artist that we use is Ukrainian based, and also he's fighting as well in the war. So anyway, not move past that. But in the translation, I don't know if he understood, but he's just drawn this massive horse's cock on the album artwork, and it's the biggest cock you've ever seen.
We were sitting messing around in Photoshop doing because I did the artwork, well, manipulate the artwork and put our logo on it. And we did kind of cut the cock out, try it bigger, try it smaller, take it all together, and in the end we just thought, we're just going to leave it.
Just leave it on.
We've got to be the only record to have a illustrated horse's cock on it. So in some way that's got to be notable. So for good or for bad.
Once again, as much as we've tried to mature and we're still slipping in now and again.
I think my thing is I don't do much in regards to the artwork, but I've got quite a immature sense of humour. So as soon as I got through the album, I was just like, it's great, but that cock could have been much bigger. That's top and bottom of it.
We didn't want to take away from the true essence of things,
It's going to be like a 3-piece concept, and the cock's going to get bigger and bigger.
It is a triptych.
You've got to wear some glasses, and it's just an extra kind of 3D augmented
VR based
horse knob, like animated
Can't wait to see the promo clip for this episode.
I loved how like that was so like as if you've done that before.
Well, you know.
This is on the way here. Lewis from Ellen Moss said, "Can you do a bleh live on air?"
I'm trying to think who she is.
So Ellen Moss is just it's a band, bunch of lads, but it's named after their
university lecturer or something like that.
Study, but the university lecturer.
Live, yeah.
A bleh live.
That's it, top and bottom of it. There's no skill.
No.
And then he goes, and what loot do they drop when they're defeated?
What was that?
What loot do you drop when you're defeated? I'm assuming this is in terms of, imagine you're in a video game, you die, what?
Loot.
I don't get defeated.
VK, Blue Wicked,
Bucky pouch,
loose tobacco, VK Wicked, and what else would we drop?
Something blue.
Blue vape.
The Blue Elf Bar, Blue Wicked, Bucky.
Plectrums for me. Everywhere.
I'm always. Tell you what,
the only time I don't have a plectrum is on stage, and then I'll get off and go, there's 16 of them in my back pocket.
Tell you what, I'd drop these days. Bloody green confetti from the Dubliner. It's just everywhere.
Dropped plenty of pairs of earplugs. Yeah, I would definitely want to have lost along the way a few times.
It's better than bog roll in your ears at the standard.
Somebody was at the ghost.
Is that the ghost?
The door open.
Come in.
Could have been.
Is that a spectral hand?
I was going to say it could have been the wind, but.
Yeah, man. What'd you get?
Caramel.
I'm going to have one as well. He sells in. So James's bandmate Carlos has sent a couple of questions in as well. First of all, he wants to know if you could choose a guitar / bass / band set up to annoy any musician, who / what would it be?
One for Bobby.
Yeah, that's for you.
Mortician would be up there.
What was the question again? Sorry, I'm over.
Come on, James, rephrase this because I'm clearly just having
I don't know. It's a bit of a. If you could choose a guitar / bass / band setup to annoy a musician.
He means like if you could tune your instruments and have your band set up in a particular style, or have a particular instrument that someone
would annoy someone.
What would it be?
Well,
just to
bass and guitar come through one thing.
I would personally love it, but the sound of the medieval lute, 10-string, you got to have a medieval lute in there somewhere.
Put some flipping distortion on a lute.
Yeah, exactly. Your Season after that, so 10-string lute with the Swedish HM2 chainsaw pedal. That's got to annoy someone, I think. I don't know if that truly answers the question from the originator, but
I mean, I would also probably say a kazoo has to be in there somewhere.
The kazoo is underrated in its level of just like it just hits you right in the peak, doesn't it? Just
Yeah, it's just like
He also says, what's the best acoustic version of a non-acoustic song?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good question. That's a really good
Because
question.
I'm not gonna lie, I still don't think I understand the first question.
I'm still struggling with that.
Best acoustic version of a non-acoustic song.
This is where it's like quiet for 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's where editing comes in, so we'll figure that one out.
I can't think of an example. Can't think of one.
Yeah.
I mean, acoustic or mellow, more mellow stuff from a heavy band.
Imagine like
Suicide Note Part 1.
what I'm thinking is kind of like songs that have been readapted. So like if you imagine, you see them on TikTok where there's like hillbilly bands doing like Thunderstruck,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
like
With a
AC Dixie, they were always a
like
laugh.
yeah,
line.
something like that.
Yeah, Ace of Spades by AC Dixie, I guess.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
I do like the acoustic version of Ace of Spades by Motorhead.
yeah.
When they
That was
did
on that. It was on that advert, wasn't it? That was
It was in Cronenberg, wasn't it? Other lagers are available.
Yeah, I just can't think. Anyway, don't listen to me.
Ace of Spades acoustic times 3.
yeah. I think that is definitely up there. Like
There was Pete Flowers' version of Wonderwall by Oasis. It wasn't as heavy as Oasis, but they're not really heavy. But
No.
I am scraping the barrel.
Slamming death metal band Oasis.
Still,
Black metal band Oasis.
I'm on the spot.
Well, final Instagram question we got was at Mrs. Berry Insta. What's the most metal children's TV character?
these are really tough questions.
Well, physically, the Hoover from the Teletubbies has got to be the 99% metal, if you know what I mean. If we're talking
K9's in
composition,
there.
composition-wise,
Moo-Moo, he was called.
Moo Moo from Teletubbies has got to be compositionally the most metal.
If you're thinking of that, there's
But
a
ethic, spiritually metal.
no,
Who would be more?
There's a
Naughty
car-
Norman?
He-Man?
Fireman Sam?
There's a car-
He-Man.
there's a cartoon called
Hey-Man,
Milo,
Thundercats.
and that's got a big washing machine in called Suds. He's pretty metal.
You can tell who's got a kid out of the three of us. Then.
Me.
I'm going back to the.
It's got to be like a
80s.
He-Man, Moo Moo, Spuds blend? What's it?
Suds, because
Suds.
he's washing.
One of those three. Yeah, so we'll go
Hybrid.
That's our answer. Thank you, Instagram.
Yeah. I don't know what my answer would be with that one.
I don't even know what the line would be.
So last episode we had technically the last one we recorded was with a fella called Jack Fox, but that episode, as this goes out, will be about 2 weeks beforehand. But he's given us some questions to ask you guys.
Okay.
Question 1. You all right?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, not too bad. Fine.
How's he?
Well, we don't know.
That was an easy question.
You all right?
I like that one.
Probably good, Jack.
Question 2. Out of all of you, who had the least embarrassing Spotify Wrapped?
Oof.
Not me. I can't. Like I wouldn't.
I can't remember it now. Mine was pretty bad.
Mine was least embarrassing. Mine was.
Or least embarrassing.
Mine was Titanic.
I think I've.
Mine was shared to my
Synced.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's when you know it's good when you're
Yeah.
willing to. Actually
Even I
Yeah,
was a
so
bit
here we go,
confused
here.
with mine this year. I think. I'll not lie.
I think I had like 90,000 minutes or something like that last year. Like,
As a metal
got me.
drummer, you wouldn't believe it, but my first love after everything I was listening to via my parents was like After Dark, Colosseum, became The Monkey.
The monk.
And I've got this thing now where I'm just going back through, and we're not going back through, just kind of listening to what's happening in that now and trying to find the good stuff, because I'm a firm believer of every genre. There's something decent and there's something shit.
Like
And I
new
listen to
stuff.
everything.
Makina.
Yeah. But then you get into the UK hardcore and jungle and stuff like that. I'm into my drum and bass and that,
Gabba.
so I can listen to rave, hardcore, whatever. And when I saw me Wrapped, it was just, it was like, what the fuck? Like, I've listened to far too much of this shit this year. Like,
Yeah.
But I do try and keep it balanced. But
I think
mine's definitely the most embarrassing in a metal sense. I
think mine, like, I slag the Foo Fighters off all the time, and then my number one song was Under You by Foo Fighters. And I was just like, I just like the song. I was like, that's the only, like, I think after like the One by One album it went like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, early Foo Fighters I quite liked, to be honest. But there's always, even if there's a band that you don't like, there's always like at least one song you think, actually, nah, that's half decent, especially if they're kind of up there. My opinion, anyway.
Final question from Jack is: if your drummer turned into a zombie, would you kill them or keep them as a pet?
Oh, we couldn't euthanize Mal.
I think like Shaun of the Dead vibes.
Definitely been in a zombie-like state a few times.
Right.
These chaps have helped us up.
But he's not a zombie
us
already.
home.
It's like when you said Jack Fox, is that Jack the drummer from Hive Mind?
Yeah.
He's a fucking cracking drummer.
Yeah,
We could always kill Mal
And bring Jack in.
Wouldn't do.
Nah,
I'll just
we
look
would.
shite.
The
Carry amps and stuff.
Zombie roadie.
zombie roadie.
Yeah, and then we just need 3 questions for next week's guest.
As you can see, it can be absolutely anything. It doesn't have to be musical. Usually we'll have questions like, would you rather have hamsters for hands or fish for feet?
Don't know who they are, or is that a
question
mystery?
ones.
It's a mystery.
Really can't remember who we got next. Hold on, let's see. Episode
The
86.
context will be good.
I've got a question for them.
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
What are they having, or what
Okay.
have they had for tea? It's my work question.
Me and Rob were talking about chess moves the other night, and now we're chess ranking on
What's your
chess.com.
opening chess move? Yeah,
Ooh.
that's my question. Is it the French?
That's band related as well, yeah.
French technique.
Is this bit getting recorded?
Yeah, what's the band called? Checkmate.
Checkmate.
This is
Oh, well,
quality
yeah,
report,
Okay, I'm not going to ask.
You might, you know what?
No, I'm not going to say.
I normally use like the knight inwards towards like, I don't know.
It's like an L shape, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know like the number to letter
King
ratio
4.
to the thing. But it's always knight to the left or
Yeah,
the one there to the right.
Then you
taking the middle
move,
of the
yeah,
ground.
what's it called? Pawn forward, and then you can swoop the bishop right, and then you can try.
I use like pincer movement. Even that's probably just a shit tactic. I just like the way it looks on a chessboard.
The way
Blitzkrieg.
Oh, next time.
Yeah, pretty much.
just a
Loosely
chessboard.
chest related, like
It's the way you said swoop the bishop. I was like, oh, that sounds a bit nice.
That's a decent
man,
bishop, that's nice.
Swoop the bishop.
Final question here, guys.
I've done mine.
I've done mine, yeah.
Jack Daniels with Jim Beam.
Oh yeah.
Flippin' heck. Oh, I wouldn't even know the answer.
Jim
to that.
Beam.
Oh, you got to go Jim Beam.
bourbon or
Beam.
scotch.
Got to go Jim Beam.
I like. Yeah, it is Jim Beam.
You get more.
Yeah.
You get ruthless hangovers from Jack Daniels, where sometimes you can be spared execution from Jim Beam.
Yeah,
It gives you a break sometimes.
I prefer JD and Coke though. I think it's just the superior.
Nah, it's a bit drier. It's a bit drier.
Yeah, that's why I quite like it. But the Jim Jim Beam is the better. Anyway, this is for bloody next guests. I don't know why.
It is,
I'm doing
James.
this, I know.
We're
Yeah,
doing
well,
part 2. You're
Should
just
we
baffling
feature
on.
in the next episode? Taste test.
We'll see you in part 3.
oh, hang on. I'm getting the soundboard up.
We'll see you when James sorts us out.
Yep, there we go. Let's go now. That's what I said. Okay then.
Welcome back to Off the Stage, part 3. I'm Conor Michael. This is James Berry, and we have Yersin still with us. So, what kind of shows and songs have you got planned for 2024?
Well, that's a hard question because we've been told today that we
You're not allowed
can't
to say anything.
say anything, but
yes.
we are going. But we will
have
be
shows.
going doing more shows and more dates than we've ever done before in Scotland, England, possibly Wales, and well, that's just terrible. We can't say it. But
So whose decision is it that you can't say? Is it like
there's
because it's a big?
there's an agency that we're kind of loosely affiliated with
Yes.
at the time, and it's taken out of our.
We did ask if we could kind of plug it, or just
But we
kinda
said no.
mention it tonight.
Yeah,
We said
so
no,
That makes
can't
sense if
just
they
do
want to
it.
if they want to announce it first,
Yeah.
then that's
So
fair enough. Yeah.
It's only just
the gigs have already been announced, but we haven't been announced on them yet.
Oh, see,
So
right,
they're going to
so-
be announced as special guests.
Yeah.
So we're supporting
it's-
a larger artist,
Yeah.
but
And they're going to announce it sometime this
After-
month,
after-
which is January.
yeah,
No.
this
So
is
you
for
don't know
January.
when it's going to get announced.
Yeah, so
Make sure-
they don't want us spilling the beans
Yeah, it's fair enough.
before they spill the beans.
Do you know why big labels do that? I got the gigs announced, but we haven't announced you yet.
We've been working
we-
it out
yeah.
is because it gives them a chance to double post it. So one artist's been announced, it's created a little bit of
Ticket sales.
Yeah. it's
and then
the
we
algorithm.
get put on it, and then it's another chance to like retweet, repost, and stuff like that, and then the local acts can jump
Do
on
the
top
same.
of that as well. So, but yeah, we're a bit nervous about it because the first time we're going to be touring in a van and night after night after night, like considerably.
So
far
is this?
from
Are you
home.
jumping on like a big band's tour? Or is that what this is?
A bigger band.
Bigger band.
Yeah.
Bigger band. Like, not like we're not jumping on the Metallica tour and all.
I was just thinking Metallica there.
Yeah, but
James Hetfield.
Yes.
You couldn't let people assume that, like, it's
well,
So Pantera rang and said, excuse me, mate, can you open?
but we're just very happy to do it, but we will not spill any beans. But
Yeah.
we are a bit nervous about it. Like
Like we said before, like every year we kind of say take a step forward, do something that we haven't done before, and next year is no exception. This is like I say, like the biggest step we've made, I think. Like,
and
so
then
yeah,
again,
we'll look forward to it.
we've got a possible show in March with another big artist that we can't announce.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, this is the
No,
worst
that's
section
fine.
It's a lot of we can't say.
But that in itself just shows you that we are like we can't even speak about it. So it's like, man, like
Yeah.
we sound like bloody big
'Cause, like,
shots.
We're not big shots. We're such small shots that we don't want to annoy anyone that is the big shot. If you know what I mean. So
Do you have any songs coming out in 2024?
So
Anything you'd like
when
to
this is
discuss that
aired, the album would have been out for 2 weeks.
Right, okay. So obviously this is out 23rd of Jan.
Yes, the album's
So
out.
it's like the 9th of January your album's out?
9th, 10th.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
If you listen to this, you can cop it on Spotify, Bandcamp, and all that jazz.
We'll buy them.
There's a vinyl.
We'll
as well.
buy it on vinyl because it was always a big deal for us to have something on vinyl. And it's I haven't seen the vinyls yet.
We
but,
hope they're good.
Hopefully
had
it
the-
works out.
the test
We've
presses
heard the
sound
test
fine,
press.
like, yeah.
Like it's mad, like saying like we have like a test press of a record because like we all collect vinyl records and it's a tangible thing. Like when you hold something in your hand, it's like a vinyl
yours,
record. It's just like it's just
Did you like self-fund that vinyl? Did you like get that, or did you was
Yes.
like a GoFundMe?
Well,
or
So
something?
the new album, the labels funded tapes, and
CDs,
and
but-
we funded the vinyl.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because they're expensive. But we went through a place who Borough press on vinyl, and they do really good like short run vinyls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
It's on vinyl. 'Cause it's the thing everybody wants now. It's like the vinyls is like the thing that kind of like it's like sort of a collector's item in it.
Yeah, of
people
course,
barely listen. Like I know. No, I mean I buy a bunch of vinyls. Every single vinyl I bought, like modern ones anyway, always have like a download code.
yeah,
So they're not really designed to be played anymore. It's like it's almost like
Yeah,
a
it's just
bookshelf collection kind of thing.
yeah. We've got some cool looking vinyls. We've got like a black and red blood splatter one, and then we've got like a black and white marble looking one. Because obviously people do look at vinyl and think that looks cool, I'll buy it. So it's got to look good, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
Everyone likes a physical copy, and like compared to a CD, like CD's a bit.
like streaming as well. Like streaming's weird because like it's just there's a bit of a disconnect because like I had a look at our Spotify the other day. It was like 10,900 people listening to it like last month. It's just like what's going on, if you know what I mean? Like, because we never expected anyone to be listening to it, if you know what I mean. There's like not a marketable audience, but there's a certain amount of people who want to listen to it. I was like, that's really cool. That was like, it's just hard to believe sometimes. So.
Yeah. Cool.
I had a question. I completely fell out my head. Oh, go on, James. Kill the time while I do it.
You asking me to kill time.
Thank you. Yeah. No, you did enough. Thank you. Obviously, with you guys going on these big shows and songs for next year, do you have any plans to get in the studio to kind of get ready for 2025, or
Well,
got anything?
I have got myself. I've written a new album last month, so the plan is just to try and get them written between us, and hopefully maybe get in the studio 2025 early on.
Yeah.
We kind of had a conversation a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, whatever, where we just said, why wait till this one's kind of
Done its course.
done its course? Why don't we just start writing and
get yourself
developing
in.
things now? I think with the first album, we did it when COVID just kicked in. It we literally wrote in 3 weeks. It was done just within a month. And we just banged out. It worked well. This time round, we took our time a bit more, did a bit more like computer writing. We did like a kind of a rough record at the bunker, just to kind of get things down and rejig, rework and that. This time, like I say, we're going to start as early as we can.
Yeah, I think a middle ground. It has to be somewhere between the first and the second. We have to pull it out, like. But as always, we will probably go back to Manchester because there's this producer recorder down there, Joe Clayton, who I've already mentioned tonight. But dude makes like he's polished the Yersin turd to a gleaming diamond, if you know what I mean. It just sounds unbelievable. Anything he touches just turns to gold. So
the thing with us as well, I think I'm a bit of a perfectionist, like with everything I do. Like, I don't mean I'm perfect. I just mean I analyse, I'm self-critical, and then I think the guys, especially Rob, because it's like we kind of get the tunes down and we give it a story, and story will like do his thing over it, and it all sounds mint. Pulled that back there, didn't it? But no, like I say, I'm a bit like kind of let's just take it out there. And Rob's know when he get, and I think that tug of war, it works. It kind of. I don't know.
Yeah,
somehow like it's a good balance.
I'm the worst when it comes to like
But you get shit done, though. That's what I mean. Like, if it was up to me, we wouldn't even be a band. Like, we'd just still be pissing around, thinking of a name. And
like, I know I'm a nightmare sometimes because it's just like, we need this like today, if you know what I mean. And I feel bad doing it.
Are you kind of like that'll do? Because I'm like that.
Great is the enemy of good, if you know what I mean. If you're wanting something perfect, you're never going to get it. But something done is better than something perfect that's imagined, if you know what I mean. So you got to get it out. There's always room for improvement, but as long as you've got something to improve upon, you have something instead of just like a fantasy or something. Yeah, it's just like. Yeah, I am a nightmare for being a taskmaster.
You can keep going and going, and you sometimes you just have to stop and say like, "That's the song, that's the track." Like you can't just keep. And it's like I say, like it's kind of you hit the ground running. You've just got to get it done.
It's good to have like a deadline as well. Look, the studio is booked for this date.
Yeah,
sort it out.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that's it.
Nice. Yeah, it gives you that kind of like mental discipline. I need to get this done. Yeah, absolutely.
But like we're still trying to, and I think we're succeeding. We are. Like I think our writing's getting better. We are. We're kind of learning to kind of craft it rather than just bang it out. And I'm hoping, I'm sure the lads are as well. Like the next time we'll get better. And again, it's just it's progress. It's development. It seems to be going quite naturally.
I think you find it's like evolution. What I find it's like you look back like a year ago. And you think, I think we're better now than what we were a year ago. And it's like you don't notice it, but it's just like you can.
And it's what keeps you going as well, because you kind of think, well, if we can do it, we've improved in the last 2 years. We've done this, we've done that. Next year is going to be better. And that's what keeps you going. Really, just saying, what can we do next? What can we achieve next? And it's the main reason for doing it. For me.
I was seeing the lads the other day, like a Facebook memory come up, and it was a video from our first gig 8 years ago. And I was like, Christ, that's 8 years ago.
Where was it?
It's the Borough.
Upstairs in the
Upstairs
borough.
in the borough.
My God.
The old borough before it was done.
Whoever bastardised the borough needs to arrest him. I swear to God, that's
a disgrace.
Heresy.
Absolutely.
What's happened?
It was like cheers in there before they took that middle bar.
That middle bar, though, it was like proper.
It's the most bland, lifeless. Yeah, I was just a troll. But it did smell like piss before.
Oh, it was horrible.
It did, but it's fine. It's part of the charm.
Yeah, we played then. Like Nick Wood opened. So it was the weirdest ride.
I think we played one. We were joking the other night. We played one song twice.
Yeah.
First song was our last song.
But
it was like looking at that video going, like I never thought we'd play with so many mint bands or would have almost 11,000 listeners online.
It's the people you meet, if you know what I mean. Like some of the people I've met in the past 5 years are just the funniest fucking people you've ever met, because like everyone's in it now. Like no one imagines themselves, no one's making it. That idea is gone, but everyone's doing it because like we have a compulsion to do it. I could not imagine not playing guitar in a band. It's just so. As long as you get over that competitive element, they've got that show, they've been signed to who and what, they're playing a show in Sweden. If you get over that and just think everyone's doing it for the same reason, you meet some of the best people.
And that's what you find as well when you meet these people. Like we're adults now, and they're like, it's nothing but like kind of support and kind of
there's no competition.
We're doing the same thing as them, and obviously people are at different levels in the the technicality or just where they're at and kind of thing. But we laugh about the Q Club days, and like back then when people were in bands, it was
used to be like getting sniped, if you know what I mean.
Vicious, it was just like. And there's none of that anymore. But again, it's just obviously people mature and. Like it's not like really realise why we're really doing it.
It's not like a competition anymore. Like
exactly.
To be honest, I found that when the same age as you, like I found that in general in like the music scene, but the younger bands are not like that.
No, they're not.
They're all helping each other.
Yes.
So it's just like
Not like us. Back in the day.
We were saying we never had that.
No, we didn't.
We played with
There's
Divine Image.
this bunch of young lads in this metal band called Divine Image,
And the lads and lasses in Wash House as well.
and they were just, they were super positive. But when we were young, we were immense, if you know what I mean, with the worst.
It's like everyone was like,
Yeah, but
you are like, is one band gonna be kind of coming out of Sunderland? It has to be us. So like,
I'm really glad that that's over with, because that was just
one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast really is because like it tries to bring all musicians together, and it just shows that we're all doing the same thing. We do it because we like to do it. I mean, the young'uns these days, obviously, they're all kind of out to kind of like hit the big time, but they're still,
Will the jaded and the reality sits in. But it's just it was just terrible back then. But now, if you just accept it as just like something that you have to do, you just enjoy it all the more, really.
Yeah, I think once you try to not make it, or once you stop focusing on that, it becomes more fun.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Like now, the goal is not being a rock star. It's just
the irony.
Let's have a laugh.
The irony, you do that, and you get bigger bands kind of asking you to support you and stuff like that. It's just like you're doing more.
Wait there all the time, it doesn't happen, and then all of a sudden it's right
when you have the right attitude, and you just like when it's about the music, people notice that.
Yeah, I think it's one thing we all.
We always
do why we love it. The DIY aspect, the community, just the crack you have. We
don't like it when it's like one band against another.
Yeah,
like, that's where like things like Battle of the Bands just.
We're not a fan of Battle of the Bands. Is counterintuitive. Any local music scene, because you're pitting people that have all got a common interest against each other as if there's just like there's one meal ticket in the entire competition. That's why.
And it's not about talent, it's about how many tickets you can sell, which is how many friends you've got.
And we've got none.
That's why I never win any. I was like,
just going in, obviously, with you guys meeting a lot of your music scene, who would you give a recommended local artist shout out to for everybody to go check out as well?
Well, do you want me to Durham-based Black Sabbath Goblin fantasy doom band Goblin Smoker, our great friends. They've recently done a tour of Sweden, which seemed to have gone down an absolute treat, and just lovely lads, and the heaviest 70s fuzzy hazy psychedelic jams you could ever imagine. So Goblin Smokers for my choice.
I was going to say Hell Crusher, but I think they've just announced that they're splitting up. They were Gateshead's answer to Slayer for me, like absolute fucking powerhouse, like. But I suppose they're on Spotify, and that, if anyone wanted to listen. I mean, otherwise, quite good friends with a band from Hartlepool, Vulgar Dissection.
Oh yeah, it's like
they're slamming it like
that's what I was going to say.
They're like a 90s death metal sound. But obviously Hartlepool's not really like the most. It's not really like the Las Vegas of the North.
You go and see them, and it is typically death metal in its essence, but at the same time they just bring it. They've got a groove. There's something about them that's catchy, and
it's like technical.
You go and watch other bands where it's just balls to the wall for 20 minutes, and there's not a lot of fucking dynamic to it. But with Vulgar, there's something about them that really do.
And absolutely lovely lads as well. Heartbreakingly lovely lads.
We were saying as well, Boz,
yeah.
I don't know if it's pronounced Boz or Bose. They're like a sludge doom 4-piece.
Yeah,
they're from Newcastle or something, right?
I think Newcastle. Yeah.
Brett's Baldwin.
Brett's the one who sent the message.
Oh, right.
He's the one asking about horsecock.
Horsecock.
Lovely
and just before we go, what are your social tags that people can find you online if they wanted to drop you guys a follow?
Well, it's hold on, I have to check.
Yersin Band, for instance.
So unpro.
Well, so hold on. So the Instagram is @Yersin Band.
I think the X, as it's now called, is also Yersin Band, or it might be Yersin Official.
It might be.
Just type a few of them.
Yes,
try both.
Just have
beware of imitation.
Just type in horsecock and you might
Scroll a couple of things for us.
No.
Oh, there it is.
And Facebook is Yersin Official.
Spotify is just Yersin. And
a quick Google and you'll find us.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Very handsome chaps.
Horsecock Sunderland.
Where does the name Yersin come from?
Well, we were called Ultraviolence.
Yes, but then we got a cease and desist from someone in Ireland, was it?
It was the second cease and desist we've had in this podcast.
Yeah.
It was some like
this band is
like techno pop shite from the 90s. He was semi-famous from what we could gather,
but we never heard of him.
I mean, Ultraviolence was a bit of a kind of a quick, like, right, we need a name, there we go, because that was kind of what the music
But then again,
was.
we were like, what are we going to call ourselves? And then it got to the point where it's like, we don't give a shit anymore. Just
But Yersin is the guy who kind of identified the bubonic plague for what it was, like as a
like a virus.
That's quite a unique name, to be
He
fair.
was called like Alexander Yersin.
Well, it's a nightmare for the logo because all classic metal bands have like the big logo, but ours is unisymmetrical.
Yeah, it's just a massive Y on the end and then like Yersin.
So that's always annoyed us since, but we're committed now, so we're stuck with
it. Never sits on posters, right? So we've always got to be a bit
I think it's like when we were called Ultraviolence, someone was like, "Is this the real Ultraviolence play?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is."
Yeah.
And then
it's the Lana Del Rey tribute.
I went by UV for a couple of weeks. But yeah. I think like we did go over loads of ideas for weeks and weeks, and then we just thought, is it right? And we just went, yeah, but I quite like it. I still think it's
fun. It's quite a name that no one else has.
Yeah,
like so fun.
And being creative, isn't it? That's like,
yeah.
Even though we're in a creative industry.
for we're happy with creativity.
It's stuck for the best part of 6-7 years. So yeah, that's. I don't think we'll be the artists formerly known as Yersin anytime soon.
So if you don't follow us on YouTube and you just watch on Spotify, get yourself on YouTube. We are still at Off the Stage UK on everything. Follow, like, subscribe, the usual crack, and you'll get a good little video. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing it. We'll get one put on the end of this episode.
A dreadfully long.
Thank you very much for coming down, guys.
Yeah,
That's been a really good chat.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Like, hang on, which one's